Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. So Desktop Manager. So in the Desktop Manager, I think every year there is a little step forward in making installation faster, easier, less complicated for people. I think that probably the number one reason people call support is because of installation problems. And so QuickBooks is continuously trying to improve the installation process. So you can, they have this thing now called the Desktop Manager that will be able to access. I didn't have it in my beta version here, but I can talk about it. You can install the products through the Desktop Manager. And it's a one-click installation. Right? You don't have to go through a whole bunch of questions. Now, the registration, you still have to register and do those kinds of things, but one-click installation to move from 19 to 20 as an example. Okay. I want to make it as easy as possible, especially because we're looking at having Pro and Premiere Plus more and more in our world. Okay, next, Tool Hub. So this has been released for a little while. I didn't realize that it was released for a little while, but if you haven't run into it, it's here now. So before there's all, you know, QuickBooks File Doctor, there's all the different areas, right, for us to go get kind of DIY tools to fix our QuickBooks files if we're having problems. So now QuickBooks decided to put all those tools together in one place, which is amazing, and they call it Tool Hub. All right, so how do you get to Tool Hub? You can go into your Help menu, and it should be there, QuickBooks Tool Hub, right? And that's where you would go and download it. Let me get to my desktop here so I can open it up for you to see what it looks like. So in the Tool Hub, we have company file issues, right? So there's some quick fix that they do. They can run the QuickBooks File Doctor from here and then open the QuickBooks WinLog. Any network issues, so this one is good for the 6,000 errors. Any network issues, right? So if we're having the H200, H505, H202, 203 issues, this should help fix that. And working with the database manager. Program problems goes back to the Fix My Program or the Program Diagnostic tool. Okay, so that fixes some Microsoft issues possibly that could be happening. Also the PDF repair tool. Installation issues, so that goes to the diagnostic tool again. Usually it's some Microsoft things or, you know, ports that need to be open. And then the 3371 error fix. Password reset, so you can go in and do some password resets through here. How to access help and support. Enterprise specialist, there's a unique area for enterprise, right? Enterprise clients get different support than Pro Premier Plus. We used to have the HFAMs that they would talk to high value account managers at Intuit, and that team still there, but it's a whole new team this year. So, and some of the other support areas, so getting to camps, right? The customer account management area inside of Intuit, and then advanced tools, right? Change startup apps and just pretty cool things, right? Check for Windows updates, download QuickBooks Desktop you can do from here, firewall things, uninstall change programs. So it just takes you to things inside of your environment that you could possibly need. So I just like that it's organized in one nice, clean little place. It's pretty cool to have that. So while I get my screen fixed back up here, I have my next poll. What is the most common issue you have for clients with QuickBooks?
And just as a reminder, everyone, we have no way to register your answers to the polls if you type them in the Q&A section. So go ahead and make sure you select one. Even if you find something that doesn't seem to be what you want to answer, just choose the closest and make sure you hit submit. Thank you.
Thanks, Maureen. All right. Getting some answers here. We do tend to get quite a bit of QuickBooks Enterprise file issues, right? We work with that a lot, needing condensed data, consolidate data, separate data. We get all sorts of just, I think this year, We had a 12 gig file that was in QuickBooks Enterprise 2006. We were helping with. I was like, wow, that's an old file. That's an old file. Okay, so give a second here and go ahead and close and share. So it looks like other people also have file size issues, quite a bit, 37%, 12% crashing black screen. So there is some solutions in the tool hub for that. Cannot pass verify. So that one also some tools in there, and then network setup issues. There's some tools in there as well. Okay. Perfect. Let's go ahead and move forward to our next. I don't know what happened there. There we go. QuickBooks Capital. So you'll see in product advertising for this. This has been around. This is not new, but I think that the way that we can access the like how we can get set up with QuickBooks Capital is new. It has some simple steps for people to be able to get set up. So first of all, there's in-product access to be able to apply to get access to $5,000 to $100,000 loans from QuickBooks, right? When you do this, they're gonna have you sign into the bank account. So they're gonna look through your bank account and at cash flows, right? As opposed to having to gather tons of data when you're applying for a loan, right? You have to gather your whole entire life and present it to the bank in order to get a loan approved. So they're simplifying that step with being able to access your main bank account and using that as the documentation to get the loan. They ask you a little bit about your business, right? Where you're going to deposit your funds. And then you hear back within 2 to 3 business days. A couple things that are also very cool is that it will tell you up front what your percentage rate is. So I'm borrowing $25,000 for a course of 6 months. I'm going to pay $786 in total in interest on that $25,000 that I'm borrowing. So they'll tell you up front, and they'll also tell you what your monthly payments will be. So pretty neat. Access to cash. A lot of people have been needing that this year too. Okay, moving along, payroll liabilities, reminders. So again, I don't have payroll set up in my sample file, but so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. We have, let me close out a QuickBooks Tool Hub here. When you go into your Employee Center, and you click on payroll, and then you have pay liabilities tab, you can set up a payment reminder. So that I think the feedback here was that a lot of people said they don't log into QuickBooks every day, so I didn't know I was supposed to pay my payroll taxes this week. So you can now set up a payment reminder that goes on your calendar. Okay, so you can add it to your calendar. Pretty cool stuff there. Going back into the slide deck here, so you can see some of the steps, right, to add it to your calendar. It'll say, what do you want to add? It'll put the details in. This is in Outlook, your Outlook calendar. Which app do you want to connect to, right? Based off this file, I want to connect to my Outlook calendar, and then it'll put some information on your Outlook calendar, when it's due, and some information about the check. So, hey, don't forget. Pretty cool. Okay, simplified payroll setup. So this is the last feature that we're going to be talking about today, and then I have a poll, and then I'm going to start to get into some of these questions. So again, another thing that we see a little bit of every year is how to simplify the payroll setup. When people are going through payroll, this is when, you know, this is one of the pain points why people choose not to set up payroll with QuickBooks. As they say, it's so hard to set it up, right? Why they choose not to go with QuickBooks for payroll. So if you set up payroll in the past, you know it can be a bit tiresome. You set up employees and they set up benefits, and then you have to assign the benefits to the employees each individually. It can be quite a pain. Also, if there's errors, it shows up at the end. It's not incredibly helpful with what the errors are or how to fix them. So they've made some changes to the look and view. So the error section, they're going to have, right, more frequently, can you get to the error section? You can click on the error section and they'll give you what the errors are with the red icons and then things you should know about these particular errors, okay, so that you can figure out how to fix them faster and easier. And then also they have the ability to batch assign employees rates or batch assign employees different benefits. So that makes it a lot easier to set up payroll when you're going to use QuickBooks for payroll. Okay. All right, so let me just go ahead and, oh, I'm sorry, here's the one, there's one, right? Here's the one thing that I didn't know. So maybe by this time next week, I'll have an answer. I've been asking, but there's a unknown report preference that I noticed that's new under reports and graphs. It says collapse transactions. And it says select this checkbox to combine, collapse multiple items in a transaction in a single line. This will cause some reports to take longer to run. I think what this means, because we get this question frequently, is people say, I want to run my transaction detail report for all invoices, but I want to see one line for the invoice. I don't want to see every single line for the invoice, right? So details of transaction, not summary, but not every line of the detail. I think that that's what it's going to do, but I couldn't find a report that actually worked on. So fingers crossed. I only have the beta version still as well. Okay, so thank you guys for the time today. Let me go ahead and launch my last poll so I can give this feedback. It's so important to give this feedback to me, to Intuit. Which feature resonated with you the most? If one of these did not resonate with you the most, please ping me what they are. That was the most exciting part for you. And then I can make sure to pass that along. So while we're collecting some of this, I'm going to start to kind of scroll up, if that's okay, through some of these questions. QuickBooks Capital, is this available in Canada, Carol? I don't know the answer to that question, but I can find out for you. ToolHub is not only available for 2021 QuickBooks purchasers. ToolHub you can find actually on the support site. So it's not just in 2021. You can find it now if you go to Intuit support site. Currently, so let me go up some of these. All right, I think I'm just going to start up towards the top. Indicate when a new feature is available in the US version or the Canadian version. Sometimes the US gets features before the Canadian version, so I didn't get to do that, but Carol, we can give you information on that later. We answered what is the ERP. All right, let me go ahead and close this poll and share the results. So it looks like receipt capture and improved bank fees were big wows. Customer group, data level permissions, also wows. Okay, so I'm just going to continue and go through a couple of questions for the next 5-10 minutes. And then anybody that has anything additional will be following up. Like I said, after the webinar, I don't like to leave anybody without their questions answered. So Randall said, will QuickBooks Desktop and or QuickBooks Online allow one to duplicate a company's data into a second company in order to try to correct some original data entry issues? So QuickBooks Desktop does. You can take a backup and restore backup and rename it something else. QuickBooks Online, I believe to do that, you have to take it down to desktop and then push it back to a new QuickBooks Online file. So hopefully that helps. All right, let's see. I've not received 2021 edition in ProAdvisor email. So that you would have to log into your Intuit Camps for. How does the user get email address registered with Intuit? So in product, you can do that, right? If you go in and you add users in product, so you can click on that manage roles and then you can add users from there. How did Marjorie get to the Intuit account user management? So I just did that. Hopefully that was good, Kathy. Okay, will 2021 Premier Desktop have the same features of Enterprise? So no. The things that are Enterprise only, again, for 2021 are going to be those data level permissions. So those extra permissions to be able to limit people to only see customer groups or certain vendor groups. And then also to be able to print pricing on barcode labels. And then receipt management is only available in Enterprise, Pro Plus, and Premier Plus. Okay, we already answered that one. And I can go back into my slide here in case you guys have any questions.
And Marjorie, if I could jump in here for a minute, I just want to read you something you might not have seen. This is my first webinar with Marjorie and 4Lane. Great presentation, all caps. Thank you. Lots of new information that will be very helpful with clients. Thank you, Tina, for letting us know.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always good to get good feedback. Good feedback. Yay. Okay, how does uploading receipts affect the size of the QuickBooks file? So when you have any attachments in a QuickBooks file, they don't store them in the actual QuickBooks file. They just drag them into a folder next to the QuickBooks file, and they store a link, like a Windows navigation link, to that folder. So it's actually not, it's just, you know, file size wise, it's just a link. So one field that it's filling in, so not a lot of size issues. Is Plus available in desktop version? So yeah, Plus is the desktop version.
And did you already answer when this product's going to be made available? You might have already answered that.
So the Accountant's Edition was available yesterday. And then for non-pro advisors, it would come out the 21st. So if you guys need help with purchasing, also too, a little unknown fact too. So if you wanted to make sure that you have taken advantage of it, we are selling the 2020 version right now. And with the 2020 version, you will get the 2021 version. Of course, with Plus or with Enterprise, you would be getting it anyway because you're on the subscription model. But you know, you guys can reach out to us to get both, basically. If I always like to have as much as possible, right? Pay for one, get both, a twofer. Might as well do that before. But we can't do that after the 2021 release is released. We can only do that before, so the next couple weeks. All right. Is Enterprise for very large companies? So not necessarily. Enterprise, so for me, when people move to Enterprise, is going to be security based because it's a higher level security. When you do have more data, I think it's more powerful. It does have QuickBooks Advanced Reporting, which we do. QuickBooks Advanced Reporting reports for our clients a lot. We have a ton of reports that we've done for clients recently. And so you have greater reporting capabilities. Basically, we look at it as, from our customer standpoint, the sweet spot for Enterprise is going to be they pushed over $1 million and are maintaining over $1 million and are headed up into like the 10 million in revenue mark. It's a really sweet spot for us. So not just large companies necessarily, it's people who need more security and better features. Is desktop now only subscription? No, you can still buy Pro and Premier without a subscription. You just won't have access to receipt management as an example. So yeah, you can scan additional backup. Just as always, you could always scan additional backup and add attachments. I don't know that you would want to take a picture of every single page. That might be kind of annoying, right? You can just scan all pages and attach that right to the document for vendor files. But you can do it that way if you wanted to. Take a picture of each one. So somebody asked, please remind me to how I find the app. The app is QuickBooks Desktop :expenses. If you just put QuickBooks Desktop, I'm pretty sure that it'll come up. But QuickBooks Desktop :expenses. a lot about receipt management. I love it. She's going to be so excited. The person responsible for this release, very excited. Is there a revenue range at which you recommend moving from enterprise to more robust ERP? So not revenue range. I mean, yes-ish. If when people are headed from 5 million to 10 million plus, then that's usually when we're talking to customers about making a move. But it's transaction size is usually one of the biggest ones, and then honestly, one of the biggest ones is people just they want to say that they're in Acumatica, because when they go to investors, they want to be able to say that they have this product that they're using. It's kind of a cool unknown, I don't know, it's kind of like almost being able to build your own homegrown system type thing. You can do so much with it. So the coolness factor is there. Bank feeds, let's see. Just keep going down our list here. We have so many questions. Does this version have the statement writer? The statement writer, I think, is in the Accountants Edition. I don't know that many people use it anymore because of the access to Excel. Looks like I've gone through. Can you explain again how to get Plus? So if you're looking for QuickBooks Pro Plus or Premier Plus, you can go to Intuit and request those. Those are SKUs with Intuit. They've got Pro 1 user plus, Pro 2 user. Of course, you can also go to resellers like myself, support the small business side of things, and purchase through us. Our pricing is generally better than Intuit's anyway, just like accountants get some better pricing, right? So definitely reach out to me. We can help you out with that, or enterprise. Does QuickBooks allow recording assets and liabilities by class in the balance sheet? So yes, you can, like journal entries, you can put classes in there. That's a whole loaded question, I think, Howard, so maybe we can talk offline about that one. There's a lot of yeses and nos to that question, but mostly yes.
So Marjorie,
yes.
People are saying they're loving this and they want to see your archived webinars. So I've just put that in the chat section. If you want to copy that, the cpaacademy.org /4lane, you can see some of Marjorie's archived webinars.
Yes, we do this every year. Every year, so much fun. Do many not-for-profit companies use QuickBooks? Oh, Randall, yes. I think that the statistic out there is something like 80% of businesses use QuickBooks. I don't know if that's true. I've heard that before. I don't know the real truth behind it, but I mean, it's a tremendous amount of companies that use QuickBooks. Okay. How effective is the FAM transfer integration? Is that fixed asset manager? Brian, I don't know if that's, so it should be, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I can get with you offline on that one. If that's fixed asset manager, it should transfer just fine. Okay. Well, I will hang out here for a couple more minutes in case anybody has other questions. I'm trying to still scan through. Thanks, Jay. I'm so passionate about this product. I'm so passionate about QuickBooks.
So that is just wonderful. People are saying fantastic webinar. People are asking how to get to your archived webinars. Yeah. People have loved this, Marjorie. So we might just have to have you more than once a year, I think. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. Let me go ahead and wrap up. And then if you want to see if there's any, like maybe one last question or two that you want to take, if we've missed anything while I'm wrapping up, you can look if you'd like. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for presenting. As you can see, it's been an excellent session, everyone, and lots of great feedback people are saying. So for you, those of you that are here for credit, we will be processing that by the end of the day, and you will find that available in your CPA Academy account within about 24 hours, along with an archived recording of this webinar and a copy of the handouts if you want to watch it again or look back through and remember all these great things she showed us today. You're also going to have the opportunity to give a full webinar evaluation, and that link should have gone out to you by email, but the evaluation links are also available in your CPA Academy account. And thank you everyone for attending. I think we'll just let Marjorie take one or two more questions, and then we'll let everyone get on their way for the day, Marjorie.
Awesome. Yes. I think I saw one more, am I unclear? You can order from Intuit or you can order from 4Lane. We are an Intuit reseller, so it's different than an accountant. We're not just a pro advisor. We actually resell the product, buy stock and resell licenses. So you can purchase from us and we can reach out to you. I see some of these questions, but you can reach out to me always, Marjorie, MARJORIE at 4Lane. If you put M Adams, which is Madams at 4Lane, which I try to stay away from that one because it sounds funny, but it also goes to me as well. So that one's a little bit easier to spell and remember. Is desktop still better than online for clients with inventory? So everybody can put their opinions out there right now, but I will say yes, always yes. Desktop is better for inventory. Desktop is still my love personally, although QBO is creeping in there with some of those features. They do a good job as well. They've got some approval kind of workflows and multiple languages, so pretty cool stuff too. Okay, I'll go ahead and wrap up on time. Thanks, Maureen, so much.
Thank you for having us. Bye, Marjorie. People are saying thank you. You're one of my favorite Intuit trainers. Thank you, thank you. So yes, we're going to wrap up. Please join us again here for more CPAacademy.org webinars. We love our members and we love our presenters. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.